Hey guys, PokeTrainer Rat here with Learning the Meta Episode 4. Today we actually have me in a battle with Alan Wake. I'm testing out the Regenerator Core. I chose not to go with the Genesect we learned in Episode 1 and went with a Tornadus instead, due to him having Regenerator and just sort of keeping me on the level of more defensive thoughts than constant offense. Here we see me make my first mistake. You can see a lot of the tooltips popping up. I see a Seismitoad and I instantly think Hydro Pump for neutral damage, not even thinking that I just moused over him and saw Water Absorb. So I completely negate my burn damage. And allow him to set up the rocks, which are going to mess up my team for a while. So that was unfortunate for me. It's alright though. It's going to play out okay in the end, but it puts me on a defensive foot, knowing that I'm on sort of a time limit. The Scald here instantly gets me, and that is highly unfortunate. I'm thinking I could take him out if he stays in with that Giga Drain, but he switches into Mandibuzz. And without having any knockoff of my own, that Leftovers recovery is going to get frustrating. So I swap out again to Tornadus, who really gets rocked by the foul play, more than I would have expected actually. And I see a few choices here for me, nothing that's going to work out super well. But to preserve Tornadus' life and to keep my momentum up, I go ahead and U-turn out. Back in with the Rotom, I assume the Volt Switch, but he's going to predict my switch and go right back into the Seismitoad, knowing that there's nothing for me to do against him with Maytag, the Wash Rotom. So again, I'm in a negative position. Knockoff hits and pops my Leftovers off, but it only does 17%. So I know Tubzilla can stay in almost forever against the Seismitoad. He goes ahead and switches. I predicted expecting the Scald, but it didn't come. So another knockoff on me, and I saw it only did 32%, so I knew I could slack off and stall this out if he wanted to stay in against me. So I'm perfectly willing and capable of stalling that one out. But I threw the Scald out there for some additional damage to speed it up when Ghost King, the Gengar, came out. I know I don't have this one, especially with the Shadow Ball, but I know I can protect just to sort of scout the moves he's got, and he does indeed have the Shadow Ball. Nothing wants to take that per se, but I'm willing to sacrifice Rotom because Volt Switch is not strong enough to really destroy Talonflame. He has no Leftovers for recovery anymore. And I'm willing to allow him to go away for the HP recovery that it provided to my Slowbro. So I see him down, looking at what my options are. I'm thinking that I can make something work with Heatran. I don't want to sacrifice his HP because of the Stealth Rocks, but at the same time, he's not Focus Sashed, he's Focus Scarfed, he's Choice Sashed, so I'm going to outspeed almost assuredly. And I could definitely take out the Gengar with a stab Flash Cannon. So that's down. I'm still playing on the back foot because I still have more damage and no spinner to get these hazards out. But at the same time, I'm more confident in my position than before because one of the major threats was eliminated. I see the Clefable, and I don't know what he has as far as ability until I throw the Toxic out and see that he does indeed not have the Magic card. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. And so I'm confident in my ability to stall this thing out if I need to. But I protected again just to scout moves, and he switched yet again. It's I'm thinking I might need something to set up hazards. I might put stealth rocks on the Heatran and use it as a lead from now on, so I can go through this core, and when they cycle to deal with each threat, they take residuals instead of me having to play from behind like this. The Stone Edge did take that out in 2, and Mienshau's still alive. I predict the Mega Pinsir and stay in against this with my Stone Edge. I am Choice Scarf. So he goes down. I know that even with my speed, I'm not going to be able to get away from the Gale Wings here with Talonflame. So I put out one of my fattest Pokemon, knowing the recoil damage will be able to wear him down. Tubzilla is both physically defensive and he was paralyzed, so he was not as reliable as the Amoonguss is. So I allowed him to die out. I'm going to throw the Heatran out and scare him. I know I have a few different options with Heatran. Flash Cannon was what I went with, just in case. And it dealt a large amount of damage. But I predicted the Earthquake to come back again, so I switched out. I'm allowing myself to take the entry damage. Moosh Boom's burned. I go with Sludge Bomb, predicting him to switch out to the Clefable, being the specially defensive Pokemon left on his team, but he stays in. If I would have went for the Giga Drain, the more aggressive play, I probably could have stuck Moosh Boom around for some more damage off the recoil to the Talonflame, which is what his point is right now. I've evaluated the situation, just looking at the tooltips, looking at what I've got on him, looking at what he's got on me, and my win condition is to get the Talonflame down to below 45% health. I believe in that range, a Flash Cannon from Heatran will be able to take it out, and I don't think that the Clefable has anything that'll be able to deal with Heatran in the amount of time it would take me to two-hit KO it. So, Moosh Boom's down, he's at 52%. I know I have to sack something else off to him to allow the Brave Bird recoil to will him down a little farther. I'm just letting him beat himself into the danger zone. I'm pretty sure that no matter what I do, Heatran is going to have to take at least one hit from this, and I'm just a little bit apprehensive about that. Assuming that this is an adamant Talonflame, it could still do a lot of damage because I didn't invest anything into Heatran's defenses. But we're below the 45 threshold, so I decide to go for it while I'm still healthy, just in case, so I have the Mienshao in reserve. It'll be my if all else fails, pray for a crit situation. I'm pretty sure at this point he deliberated on whether to switch out, knowing the Flash Cannon was coming, knowing there was nothing he could do about it other than pray for the crit and try to drop me right here. So after a moment's deliberation, he goes for it. Drops me down to 20%, but it's not enough to take me out. Now, I'm assuming that this is the setup with Cosmic Power, so I don't think it can do much to me. I forgot it had Thunder Wave. It drops it out, doesn't do anything to me with a Moonblast, and I end up winning the fight. So all in all, mild victory. Thanks for watching, guys. We hope to see you next time on Learning the Meta.
Don't care what they say, we will be here all day. We'll stay here till it's over.